In this lab, we are covering select statement, retrieving data from the database, and how we can display such data in our application. We have what we call a ResultSet object or ResultSet interface that we can use. Of course, we also have the record set, which I asked you to explore, to practice, to make sure you are comfortable with. But in our demonstration, we are going to use the ResultSet object. So we'll be able to select data from the database and iterate through the records in the ResultSet or using ResultSet, and we'll display our data from that ResultSet object. We are going to use the execute query to do so. As we said, we have three types of queries or methods that we use to query our data. We have been using execute method in our previous videos to query our data, and execute method just returns a boolean, but this one, execute query, returns a result set. So let's see. Let's go to our IDE and let's have a select statement to query our data from the database. Our table so far has got 3 records, Gateway, RDC, and Esther. We want to retrieve all this information and display this information in our application, in our Java application. So first of all, let's have prepared statement. No, we are going to use the normal statement prepare, meaning the statement interface. So let's have statement interface declared here. And we're going to have this one here. So we have our statement prepared, created, and now we can have our SQL statement, which is of course straightforward. We just want to select everything, all fields from our table. We are selecting all fields from our table, which is student. Yeah. Okay. Now let's pass this one into our statement method. Statement dot instead of execute, we are using execute query. And this execute query requires an argument, which is our SQL. Okay, so this is a execute statement, but as I said, it returns an object which is result set. So let's have result set here, and this result set we just call it RS. So that's our result set object. So this far, it means we have our data in our application in a form of a result set. It's like a table, rows and columns. Now we can access our result set using next. So if I just have a statement like maybe rs.next, this statement is going to move from the first element to the next element. From wherever the cursor is to the first row. So by just having this next, we can now access records from the first row. So let's try to display something from first row. I'll just display maybe the name, system.out.println. I'll just display the name for the first row, and to do so we need to use what we call get. So we have get methods. equivalent to the set method that we're using when we're using prepared statements. So we have get double, get string, get what, according to the data that we want to have. So here I want rs dot get string for the name. So we have get string, and I want that which is on position. Okay, so the first position, because I've queried everything, the first position is an ID, the second position is a name. So I'm looking for the second position, which is a name. So I'll put 2 here. Okay, let's try to run this. So we have the first name, or the details for the first record displayed. And if we want to display for the second one, we also needed to move one more step. So we need rs.next. So if we have another rs.next and we display this statement again, we'll be able to move to the next one, and we have now Ketwe and Alice. And we can also have this one again, and we'll be able to have all 3 records. But now if we have rs.next again, we may end up having an error because we have reached the end of the file. So here we are okay. Let's have rs.next again. It has now moved beyond our last record, and now this one, yeah, so it will give us nothing, but it has reached the end of the file, so we cannot move even further. So we can use rs as a condition for our looping. Instead of repeating like this, as we see all these statements are the same, we are also retrieving data from the same record. So we can just have a while here. While we still have data, we still have next data, then this should happen. Then this should happen. So no need of repetition. Okay, so this should be able to display all of them, Ketwe, Alice, and Esther. And if you want to display this together with something else, maybe Ketwe, then we have maybe space, then we want to display the surname as well, or maybe just a space and surname. Then we can have rs dot get surname is also string, then surname is on position 3. So we are going to have data with surname. So our data, or our data from the result set can be sent or can be transferred into a collection. We've gone through collections in the last unit, so we can take these things as we are looping. We can be taking these things and put them in a collection and handle our data as any other collection. But if not necessary to do so, you can always just process your data using a result set, as we have seen here. So this is how you can use a result set. Just to finish, maybe to demonstrate also a result set that has got a condition, you can use a prepared statement as we did before, if you have a statement with a condition, or you can use even this vanilla statement function without any preparations, and you just add the condition here. So if you want to have records with the income greater than less than 400, with the income where income is less than 400. So that's our condition. So this one should give us only 2 that are qualifying less than 400. We have this one 250 and 270. So this is how you can use or you can connect to the database and select data from the database and also modify data and everything. So reaching this far, I think we have demonstrated the important concepts that you can build on and use in your project. Here I'm not using any interface, I mean graphical user interface. I'm using console or command line interface, but in your case I want to use this knowledge to retrieve data and update your interface, which is graphical user interface, and get data from the users. Maybe registration of a candidate, registration of voters, should be getting data from the users using graphical user interface and saving that data into the database. Thank you guys. See you in the next unit.